Hello, and here is our Year 1, Spring 2, Week 3 phonics recap. This week, the children have been learning alternative ways of making the or sound. They've been learning about a schwa in longer words. They've been learning a new way to make the o sound and alternative ways of making the air sound. So first of all, this week, the children have learned that the letter A can also make the or sound in some words. For example, in the words like water. We also looked at the words ball, small, tall, and other words that are similar to this. And we talked about how the letter A is making a bit of an or sound, although it's not quite a full or sound, like b, all, ball, all, small, and all, tall. We also looked at these words and we talked about how we learned the tricky word all in reception. And actually, we can just add these letters to the front of the words to read them. This week, we also learned about something called a schwa. We talked about a schwa last week as well. And a schwa is a lazy sound. It happens when the letter in the words isn't pronounced fully or accurately. And we've been particularly looking at longer words this week and spotting the schwas. So here are some words that have some letters in them that do not make a full sound. They have a bit of a lazy sound. Can you spot the letter that you think is making the schwa? Pause the video to have a go. How did you get on? Let's have a look if you were right. I've highlighted the letter that's making a schwa sound in green. So in the word difficult, the isn't fully pronounced. If we were to fully pronounce it, we'd say difficult, but actually the is making a sound, difficult. In the word celebrate, rather than the letter E, the second letter E making an sound is making an I sound. So celebrate rather than celebrate. So we don't fully pronounce that letter. And then in the word different, we can't actually really hear the in there. If we were to pronounce it with that letter, it would be different. And we don't say it like that. We say different. So we're saying it without the sound in it. So that one's being a really super lazy schwa there. We then moved on to learning about another way of making the O sound. So we already know the letter O makes an O sound. And this week we learned that in some words, the letter A can make the O sound, like in the word squash, wasp, swap, and watch. And finally, we learned that there are 3 other ways of making the air sound. These are all trigraphs. So let's have a careful look at the trigraphs. There's A-R-E, E-A-R, and E-R-E. And in different words, these make the air sound. Let's have a practice of reading some words now using the sounds that we've learned. Can you spot the digraph and the trigraph in this one? It's square. Square. Now this is a word that's got a schwa in it. Can you spot the schwa? This word is animal. Animal. The a is making an o sound. It's kind of a schwa, but it's also makes the o sound like we've learned this week. So it's a quiet o in that word, animal. And this one, we are going to spot the letter A. What sound is that making in this word? It's an O. And then the trigraph that we learnt last week is ch. Watch. Watch. Let's have a practice at reading this one. Can you spot the digraph? This word is always. Always. And can you spot the trigraph in this word? What sound is it making? Now, we've learned in reception that these 3 letters, E-A-R, make an ear sound. But in this word, it's not making an ear sound, it's making an air sound. Air, where. Well done, everyone. Now pause your video and have a go at independently reading the sentence using your sounds to help you. Okay, how did you get on? Let's read it together. Watch out, there is a wasp near your juice. Let's read it again. Watch out, there is a wasp near your juice. Well done, everyone. Super phonics today.